Medema here. Today I'm with my dear friend Paula D'Arcy, poet, therapist, mother of hundreds of people around the world, author, counselor, life giver, retreat leader, and most of all, precious friend. We are going to do today an entire hour of duetting where we'll have words and music. I have not seen what Paula has written. So after the first song, whatever I do will be done as a response to what she has written. We have done this together at many retreats, and I look forward to doing it together. So what I propose to you, my friends, is that you sit back and open your ears wide, open your heart wide. Today is a momentous day in the world, and we want to speak to it if we can. There's a turning in the pathway that we did not know was there. There are changes in the weather. Skies are cloudy that once were fair. And there's a new song for the singing that we never knew before, and we always need the leading, but in the turning we need it more. We are frightened of the turning that we did not know was there. We are anxious about those changes we are feeling in the air, and we do not know the music to the song not sung before, and we always need that leading, but in the turning we need it more. Castles in the sand, washed away by the rolling tide. Once upon a time we rode the waves, but now they're too rough to ride. Once our walking was swift and sure, but now the guideposts are gone. Old roads are ending, no signs to read. to tell us how to go on. Hold my hand now, don't desert me while we're walking another mile at the turnings in the pathway. We will stop and lean a while, and with Emmanuel close beside us, walking roads not walked before. Well, we always need the leading, but in the turning we need it more.
Thank you, Ken. It was beautiful. And hello, friends. I've been reading writings by Dan Rather for several months now. For most of us of a certain age, we grew up with him as the anchor on the evening news. He's 90 now. And I wanted to begin with a prayer that he wrote today that was related to what's happening in the Ukraine and because of that in the world. He opened by saying the sun sets on a nation under attack. Panic spreads. We must think first and foremost of those facing the brunt of the invasion, especially the citizens, especially the children. And he says this: I pray for all those in harm's way. I pray for all who desperately yearn for peace. I pray for some way out with a minimal loss of life. I pray for hope and the wisdom of our leaders in a time of peril. So here we are talking about a new dream, opening to a new dream in the middle of so many things going on, as it always is in life. Opening to something new is like being taken to a different shore, to another way of being alive, a place where you're suddenly able to see things you hadn't noticed before. The poet Annie Dillard writes, you rig a giant sail and go, sailing on solar wind. You try to put yourself in the path of light, because light, be it particle or wave, has force. She ends by saying you spread your spirit till you yourself are a sail. I was taken once to another shore in a very small room in Philadelphia. I spent the morning there with 12 women, inner city mothers, whose sons had all been murdered. The trauma that the mothers experienced was the story they told with tears and with passion. When it was almost time for lunch, everybody was emotionally drained. Then one of the mothers came to me and said, what we'll do next may surprise you, but please trust the importance of this to the healing process. And suddenly music started, and everyone stood up and began to dance. And their dancing was not shy, it was not subtle, it was bold, and it was strong. And if you're wondering if I got up to dance too, I got up to dance. It was amazing. They knew how to dance. And by dancing, the pain moved from their hearts straight out through their limbs. When the music stopped, there was a strong feeling in the room of what it means to be alive. After lunch, the same mother came to me and said again, what we plan to do next might surprise you. These mothers, bent double with grief in the morning, began to hold a fashion show. All the dresses they modeled were from Africa. And the beauty of the fabrics, the vibrancy of the patterns spoke only of joy. Those were the ingredients that day: sorrow, dance, and beauty. Author Gregory Roberts writes, people who are hungry to know and find the river of light will find it. In the evening, I walk around my house turning off lights and preparing for the night. And sometimes I feel the gift of every hour I have left to live. And I sense the presence of others who are also living at this time in history, all of us reaching for the beauty and light, reaching even as rockets fill the air, as they did in Ukraine this morning, reaching as thousands flee their homes and search for safety, feeling threatened and afraid. Fleeing homes every bit as precious to them as our homes are to us. We see photographs of the faces and our hearts reach forward. All of this as a pandemic still holds the world in its grip. And I think the mother from Philadelphia would say to us, what we'll do next may surprise you, but these are the days not to be swallowed up by despair, but to put yourself in the path of light's beam, to rig a giant sail and set out to dream the world more healed and whole. These are the days to open our eyes wide. During years of crushing loss, I learned that if you make just a small turn and open your heart, you discover that there is more. It's that simple. A love which is our only true offering, a deeper love, which can lead us to a larger dream. A beautiful 31-year-old woman, a singer called Nightbird, dies this week and leaves us these words. It's okay. We're all a little lost, and it's okay. But you can't wait until life isn't hard anymore before you decide to be happy. And I add to that, to make a small turn, to open your heart. I think to myself, you can't wait until life isn't hard anymore before you decide to find the river of light. There's a beautiful film where a child is born in an Italian hospital to a tourist from the United States. The new mother is holding her child when her closest friend comes to visit. The friend admires the baby and then walks to the window in the hospital room, releases the shutters and opens the window wide. Sunlight streams in. Then she turns back to the mother of the newborn child and says that the translation of the Italian words to give birth are dare alle luce, which literally means to give to the light, to bring to the light. And then she picks up the child from the mother's arms and holds the baby at the window, lifting her high, perhaps saying to her and to us as well, you can't wait until life isn't hard anymore before you begin to release more love into the world. Ken?
I cannot avoid the weeping, no matter how I try. I try to close myself away. I seek to close my eyes. I do this at my peril, closing off my heart. For if I try to avoid the weeping, then I do not play my part. So let me taste the weeping that you feel. Let me know the weeping that I know is very real. Open up my heart, open to the tears. Let me be willing to say, I am here. I can't avoid the dancing, no matter how I try. No matter how I hide away, no matter how I close my eyes. The people all around me are dancing on the graves, and I want to join the dancing. The threads of life to save. Let me join the dancing. Put on my dancing shoes. That was a time for weeping, and now to dance I choose. I put on my red dress for all the world to see. I'll not avoid the weeping. Let me not avoid the dancing. First, the sackcloth and ashes. Next, the red dress for dancing. Won't you come, weep and dance with me?
A friend tells me of a time when she prayed, "Do what you will, God, just teach me to love." Such a bold prayer. While in Peru, another friend meets a holy man and they spend a brief time together. Before parting, he says to her, "Something large must move. Something must be put down in order to open to all that's possible in this life." The poet Rumi puts pen to paper and tells us, "Seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against love." My mind races. What is our greatest barrier? Which fear? Which sadness? Which anger? Which disappointment? Which walls around the heart that we don't even see, but must see and put down so we can find our way to each other? I think of how we look away or look past what is standing right before us. In the film Change in the Air, sacks of letters containing stories of all human suffering and heartbreak are delivered to a young woman who sorts them and reads each one carefully. The letters don't have an opening salutation and they don't have a closing. It is the unending human story. The woman reads the pages with compassion, moved by the suffering. Then she deliberately rolls up each letter, hundreds of them, and carries them in a canvas bag to a nearby park. In the park, she climbs the stairs inside a tower until she stands at an open window. Looking out toward the sky, she reaches into her bag and quietly lifts each page in the brightness of the day. As we watch, the letter in her hands becomes a bird, and the bird, now washed by the light that pours through the window, takes flight. And something in you knows that it's the pain written on that page that has been transformed, as well as the heart of the one who lived through it. I remember these words left to the world by Anne Frank. How wonderful it is that nobody need wait a single moment before starting to improve the world. I don't think of all the misery, she says, but of the beauty that still remains. With those thoughts, she offers us a way to dream, to focus on the beauty that still remains, and not just the anger and disappointment with all that is still wrong. She says to us, dream anew. Etty Hillesum, another young woman in a different concentration camp, joins her voice and tells us, you could nourish the world with this love. Ken?
What can I do? But where can I go? I'm only me. I am too small, insignificant, utterly boring. I don't have anything heroic in me. What am I to do? Where am I to go? What am I to say in this crazy mixed up world? If I were someone else, I'd know just what to do. If I were someone else, I'd know just what to say. If I had some other talents, I could use them well. But I'm only me, and I've no story much to tell. I've been told so many times, oh, you're beautiful. But I don't believe it, not for a second. Broken wings. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. I don't know how. I don't know where. What can I do? One baby step. One little tiny opening. One yes. One aha. One oh my goodness. One tiny step. Here's where it starts. Something must move inside of me. Something must move for eyes to see. Something must change. I don't want to be afraid. I don't want to be scared of the change. One aha at a time. Can I really do this? Can I really be this? Can I really open? Can I really dare this? Maybe if you'll help me. Maybe if you'll join me. Together we can.
There is always the possibility of moving from one way of being to another, one set of choices to another, in order to create something new, in order to unlock our deepest human capacity for love. This is where the beauty is. This is the moment when the mothers in Philadelphia began to dance. In these days, the world is experiencing difficulty and challenge. We understand what it means to tire and to lose hope. A mother talks to her son about meeting the challenges that will arise in his life. Life will bring you to your knees, she says. This is life, and this is what it does. Sometimes life brings you lower than you think you can go. But if you stand back up and move forward, if you take a small step, if you just go a little farther, if we all take the story a little bit further, if we go far enough, there's love, and you find your way. In his oratorio, Considering Matthew Shepard, Craig Hella-Johnson says it in this way: we're alive. The stars are overhead. Thank you. The wind is rushing by. Thank you. And I add, for the smell of rain, thank you. For the sound of laughter, thank you. That we ever knew love, thank you. That we are able to dream more than one dream, thank you. Ken?
For the brightness of the morning light, for the sweet, sweet silence of the night, for the taste of apple pie, for the vision that confronts my eye, I say thank you. For the wonder of the morning sun, for a job I know it's been well done, for the quiet of a seat by the fire, for a piece of music that I know will inspire, I say thank you. Thank you for the sound of the birds, Thank you for Dan Rather's words. Thank you for the picture I see on the wall. Oh, thank you for it all. For the wonder of the morning light. For a little music to play late at night. For the sound of the singing birds. For a friend who calls with consoling words, I say thank you. For a red dress to go dancing in. For the feel of lotion on my skin. For the tiniest swallow of champagne. For the thought of going home on an airplane. For the little tiny child who says hello. For a place I know I can go. For all these things and so much more, I say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you once more.
Poet Padraig O'Tuma says, at the end of the day, the reality is that whether we change or whether we stay the same, these questions will remain. Who are we to be with one another? And how are we to be with one another? Will we wake and take this troubled beauty forward? To see takes time, says painter Georgia O'Keeffe. She would know. I walk through my neighborhood with things I've baked. A slice of peach bread, a muffin filled with blueberries, all of which I leave at someone's door. In exchange, neighbors bring me cookies, a bowl of homemade soup, a slice of lemon pie. Small bounties, simple things. It seems as if we are reordering the way we might be with one another, learning to grow in a new direction, understanding that we are not a collection of houses. We are a single story with many faces and names. Indigenous people speak about saving the last embers of a campfire to help start the next day's fire. The embers are carefully wrapped in cloth and given to someone to carry. They are called the light that has traveled a long distance. With each piece of pie and bowl of soup, we offer each other the embers of our lives and begin to weave our stories together. A friend describes Haiti after the earthquake in 2010. We shared food and water. Money, for once, was not important. nor will last names or skin color. We slept in yards and empty lots, on sidewalks, in the middle of streets. We carried people who were injured on our backs. We understood for the first time that the walls and gates we used to hide behind meant nothing. They lay everywhere like crumpled paper. Those nights, the stars were very beautiful. They told us to go on living, to rescue our dream for the world. Ken?
You live next door to me. I know your first name, and that's about all. I don't know your hopes. I don't know your dreams. I don't know your fears. I don't even know if you like chocolate. I see your boy, your teenage boy, standing out in front of the garage. He's got that look of consternation, that look of worry, that look of perplexity. Do I dare go up to him? Maybe it's just a private thing, and I'd just be a snoopy neighbor. So I keep away, and so I go back inside after I brought the trash cans out. I guess you'll settle things. Maybe it will be alright. And sometime in the night, in the middle of the night, his image comes to me. I lie awake wondering, should I have done something? Should I have gone to him? Should I have asked the question, are you okay? Locked inside our skin, we live so far apart. What I wouldn't give to hear the beating of your heart. Trapped inside this flesh, as if inside some shell. Isolation is a game we've learned to play too well. Here we stand, so many separate people who are longing to be known, trying to deal with the ache that we feel because we hate to be alone. God of uniting, we stand in your presence, and this is what we pray. Close the gap with every passing day. You are my neighbor, I know your first name, but nothing else.
In the small Lithuanian town of Balninke, I find myself in a small church in the village center, where the celebration of a wedding anniversary is about to begin. The people here have been stripped bare by 50 years of Soviet occupation. Their language, the free expression of their faith, everything taken. They lived with ration cards and distrust. In time, the loss of hope settles in like a thick fog. There are no words in any language for the look in their eyes as they tell the stories and remember those years, sustaining themselves in Siberia on clover soup and a single piece of bread, taking apart rugs, unraveling them to use the yarn to knit warm clothing for growing children. The priest in this village church asks my friends and me if we will help decorate the church with light for the occasion of the anniversary. He holds out a thin cloth bag with a small collection of tea lights, some of them new, but most of them used, many of the wicks broken and buried in wax. We place the usable lights on either side of the small center aisle until we run out. I look at them, thinking of extravagant decorations I have seen. How can they compare these simple tea lights in their aluminum casings, placed directly on an unpolished wooden floor? When it's time for the villagers to arrive, we light the wicks. I move to a window at the back of the church and watch as the people in the village begin to arrive. From their gardens, they have gathered small bouquets of flowers, and they walk slowly, mostly in silence, shoulder to shoulder in a long line. One woman is bringing a cup and saucer. It belongs to a set of dishes she treasures, but she breaks the set to bring the gift. It's all she has. The elderly couple whose wedding anniversary is being celebrated walk at the head of the line. They enter the church arm in arm and walk quietly up the aisle in between the faint glow offered by the old candles. My eyes fill with tears. Watching the descendants of this ancient town and culture move along the aisle, I am witness to more than I'm able to take in. I stop seeing the line where the people from the village end and I begin. Their struggles, their pain, their dreams, all part of the human heart. For 50 years, they endured more than I have ever known. I am flooded with their sadness and also with their light. If there is no separation between us, then it means that in keeping hope alive for such long years, through terrible deprivation, they kept alive the possibility of this evening, this future time, this virtual gathering, in which we try to understand the ties that hold all life as one, each of us longing to dream a new world into existence. It's as if the villagers who are holding the flowers from their gardens in their arms are looking straight into our eyes, looking at our future selves and are telling us, you have what it takes to do this, to make this turn, to dream anew. Ken?
Mother always told me you can do what you want to do. Mother always told me you can be what you want to be. mother always told me, you can say what you want to say, but mother never told me you can dream a better world. It took such a long time even to begin to see the long, long line of hope, long, long line of possibilities. People in prisons, people with their backs to the wall. Somehow we belong together, and I am a part of it all. If I could go back to my mother and tell her a thing or two, I would tell her, surely you loved me. You wanted me to do what I wanted to do. But you never told me I could enter into the pain. And that's the only way to dream a new dream again. You never told me I could enter into the pain. And that's the only way to dream a new dream once again. Once again, a new dream once again.
The chaplain in a maximum security prison in Massachusetts calls to see whether I'll provide an evening program for inmates. It would be my first time inside a prison. She says the program will only be for 60 minutes. I find out in the years that follow that most programs in prisons and jails last only 60 minutes. And they teach me to learn not to waste time. The meeting room is large, and I follow the chaplain's suggestion that I stand at the door and greet each inmate as they enter. I am unprepared for the gratitude they express. Over and over, they take my hand and say, "Thank you for coming to be with us." I feel very nervous. Most of the women look straight into my eyes. I do not want to let them down. I have one strong intuition. If I'm not going to be real with them, I ought to have stayed home. The evening is powerful. The women are hungry to turn their lives around, to learn and to grow. I return to the prison weekly for the next year, sometimes to offer an evening program or lead a weekend retreat. But most often, I simply sit with the women one-on-one. Thank you, they continue to say, thank you, We never thought you'd keep coming back. Thank you. After a year together, it is heart-wrenching to tell them I'm moving to Texas, and there are only a few weeks left for us to be together. In that prison, I witnessed birth, as many of them received a GED or even a bachelor's degree. The indignities were endless, but they fought hard to hold onto hope and meaning. Some of them were freer than most people I know, truly free, and they dreamed dreams. They came to understand that life would not begin when they were released from prison. It was right now. They understood that there's no way life should be. We all made that up. There's only life. They said to me, if I can hope for tomorrow, tell the people outside the prison that they can do the same. Late at night, I think of them still. I think of their longing for humankind to inhabit the earth in a new way. I think of how bravely they faced regret and guilt and shame and learned not to stop there. They were not the mistakes they'd made. They were more. The poet David White tells us that at some moment we need to sit in council with ourselves in the temple of our adult aloneness. This is the place where change begins. Slowly and deliberately, you release the limiting stories you've been telling yourself all your life. You let them fall away until a new question arises. What's being given to me right now, and who might I become? I understand in a new way what it means to take your place in life, each of us, all of us, accepting different roles and playing our part. But behind the person is the deeper truth of who we really are to one another. I begin to understand the meaning of the final line from a poem by Tagore. For the night is dark and your pilgrim blinded. Hold my hand. Sometimes ascendance, an open heart, a shared moment turns your life around, and you realize that the dreams we dream will fail if they are not for all of us. Ken?
I can't wait for life to be real. I can't wait for life to be exciting. I can't wait for life to have meaning. No, no, it's right now or never. It's right now. I can't wait to be walking. I can't wait to get it on. I can't wait to be talking. It's got to be right here and now. So sick of hiding behind the walls. So sick of wondering, do I dare to risk it all? So sick of running away from what I know is waiting here, just beyond my head. I can't wait for life to be real. I can't wait for life to be exciting. I can't wait for life to be what life needs to be. So let me start this way. Would you just come take a walk with me.
After the deaths of my husband and daughter, after that long darkness, I realized it isn't simple to understand life or to live it fully. It's not easy to walk the path you've been given. In those days, I had no idea how powerful it was to be a human being or how much is possible in a lifetime. I'd spent a long time on the surface of my life, moving fast. But with their deaths, I stopped. I realized that how you listen to your life experience has tremendous power. How you meet change, sorrow, disappointment, all the turns in the road. And the great paradox that everything you didn't anticipate or didn't want may become a doorway. During the Second World War, a ghetto was established in Kaunas, Lithuania. Enclosed by barbed wire, it is said that at its peak, it held 29,000 Lithuanian Jews. Each person had about 10 square feet of living space. Only 500 persons escaped this ghetto alive. The others met their death in concentration camps. While in the ghetto, the people chose a brilliant physician to be their leader because he was trusted by everyone. Death was imminent, everyone knew that. Still, the choice was made to convene a symphony with any musicians who were there and to perform for everyone who was still alive. Between November 1942 and September 1943, 83 concerts were performed. The musicians devoted themselves to opening eternity in whatever moments were left. Dare alle luce, to give birth, to bring to the light. The truth is that there's only one table, and we all sit there. The world exists for this table, and a dream and a kind of love we're just beginning to know. Ken, you want to bring it home?
Is there a place for dreaming in the corners of your mind? In a world where dreams are broken down and dreamers hard to find. Do you dream and do you weep sometimes about the way that things should be? Come dreaming with me, dreaming with me. Admission is free. Do you dream of another country where there is no push and shove, where the rich don't rule and all will be fed, and the only law is love, and a neighbor is a neighbor, and there's trust and loyalty. Come dreaming with me, dreaming with me. Admission is free. When I was a child, I used to daydream a lot, and they told me that it would not last. They said I would not have time for such a waste of my mind. When my life started moving fast, now that I'm grown, I find that life with no dream is a hell that I simply refuse to bear. So if it's alright, I'm gonna open my mind and see if my dreams are still there. My dreams are still there. Is there a place for dreaming way back in the corners of your mind? Where dreams are broken down and dreamers hard to find. Do you dream and do you weep sometimes about the way the things should be? Come dreaming with me, dreaming with me. Admission is free. Let me say my profound thanks to Paula D'Arcy for this hour. And let me say to you, if you would like to be a part of this work that is being done by Interlude Retreats, we'd love to have your partnership both in prayer and energy and financial donation. You can go to www.interluderetreats.org and learn how to donate to this work that's going on week after week, either these shows or providing retreats. We're doing 2 in-person retreats for church musicians this summer, and it will be a time between good food and good conversation and a relaxed schedule. It will be a time for these musicians to unburden themselves, to share, to learn about new dreams, and to explore possibilities. So if you'd like to be a part of that, we'd love to have your prayers, your energy, your donation. The other organization that's so much a part of this is the Redbird Foundation. Paula D'Arcy has spent years helping people, loving people, caring people, and a great deal of it is done through the Redbird Foundation that she is the director of. So if you'll go to redbirdfoundation.org, is that right, Paula?
It's .com.
And learn about what they're doing, and find out firsthand the wonderful, wonderful work that's being done by both of these organizations. Now, I want to tell you, those of you who are choir singers, don't forget that this summer, my oratorio, The Weaver, is being performed at Carnegie Hall. And you can go to True North Presents to find out more about that. I'd love to have you come and sing in the program. There's a wonderful package with hotel and food and rehearsal and singing and performing on the stage of Carnegie Hall. So let's do that together this summer, yeah? And we'll end like this. Come dreaming with me, dreaming with me. Admission is free. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Thank you, Ken. 1,000 times.